Think you know Peppa Pig inside out? Think again. From magical color-changing windmills and disappearing ice creams to sneaky toys moving on their own and paintings that vanish and reappear, these hilarious mistakes will have you doing a double take. Stay tuned as we reveal the funniest, most baffling animation errors hiding in your favorite episodes. Once you spot them, you'll never watch Peppa the same way again.
Let's try something even more exciting.
In the episode Windmills, we can see Peppa and her classmates making a paper windmill. Everyone has different colored paper, and if we look at Suzie Sheep's paper, we notice that it is cyan colored. Now look carefully. When everyone makes their paper windmill and runs outside the classroom, we can notice that Suzie Sheep's windmill is dark blue, but earlier we saw her paper was cyan colored. That's a bit odd, right? And that's not all. When all of the students arrive at the site where Mr. Bull is building an actual windmill, we can notice that Suzie's paper windmill is now green colored. Earlier it was dark blue, and even before that it was cyan. That's quite a lot of color changes for one little windmill. It seems like Suzie Sheep's paper has gone through a surprising transformation. Maybe Suzie Sheep has got a magical color-changing paper. It starts off cyan, then turns dark blue when she runs outside, and finally ends up green when she reaches the site with the real windmill. That's definitely not something we see every day. None of the other characters' paper windmills change color like that. Only Suzie's does. So what's going on here? Is it a mistake in the animation? Or does Suzie Sheep really have some kind of magical windmill that changes color depending on where she is?
First we fold to the corner.
It's a mystery that isn't explained in the episode, but it's something sharp-eyed viewers can spot if they pay attention. One thing's for sure, Suzie's windmill doesn't stay the same color for long. It starts cyan, turns dark blue, and then becomes green. That's quite the colorful journey for one little paper windmill.
Let me show you all how to make a little windmill.
Moving on. In the episode Thunderstorm, we noticed a funny error. Here Peppa and George are playing in the garden when they hear thunder. Peppa and George get a bit frightened and go running inside the house. But when they all get inside the house, Peppa realizes that she has left her teddy bear in the garden.
Teddy! I left Teddy in the garden!
That's when things get interesting. Now look carefully. We can see there's a teddy bear lying on the ground. It's just sitting there in the garden, and if we notice the background, there's nothing. No tree, no other objects, just the teddy on the ground with a plain background. It seems pretty simple at first glance, but things change in the next moment. When Daddy Pig goes to get the teddy, we can notice a tree in the background. Yes, a whole tree that wasn't there before suddenly appears. The tree basically appeared out of nowhere. In the earlier shot, the teddy was clearly lying there all by itself, and the garden looked empty. But now, all of a sudden, there's a tree standing right in the background. That's quite the unexpected addition. The teddy didn't move, and no one changed locations, so how did the tree suddenly appear? It's a small detail, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. It seems like the animators forgot to include the tree in one shot and added it in the next. This kind of error might go unnoticed the first time, but if you look closely, it's pretty funny. One moment, the garden is empty, and the next, there's a full tree standing behind Daddy Pig. It's just another little animation goof that makes Peppa Pig even more interesting to watch.
Daddy Pig will rescue Teddy.
You'd better hurry, Daddy Pig.
In the episode Pancakes, Mummy Pig is making everyone pancakes.
Today is a day for pancakes.
The whole pig family is sitting in Mummy Pig's magical kitchen. If you have watched our previous error videos, then you would know that Mummy Pig's kitchen is magical, because things appear and disappear from thin air in there. It's like the kitchen has a mind of its own. So here we can see that Mummy Pig is preparing ingredients for pancakes. Let's take a closer look at the milk jug. As we can see, it is filled slightly above the handle. The milk level is pretty clear, and it's just a little higher than the handle. That seems normal at first. But then, Mummy Pig pours the milk into the flour mix. She tilts the jug and pours a good amount of milk into the bowl. You'd expect the milk level in the jug to go down after that, right? But that's where it gets interesting. After Mummy Pig finishes pouring the milk, we can notice that the milk is still at the same level as before. It hasn't gone down at all. It's still slightly above the handle, just like it was before she poured it. It's almost like she didn't pour anything at all. It seems like Mummy Pig has found an infinite milk glitch. No matter how much milk she pours out, the jug just stays full. That's some next-level kitchen magic. In Mummy Pig's magical kitchen, even milk doesn't follow the laws of physics. It's a funny little detail that most viewers might miss, but once you see it, it's impossible to ignore. The milk jug just refuses to empty. It looks like Mummy Pig has a never-ending supply of milk. In the episode Grampy Rabbit's Lighthouse, Grandad Dog takes Peppa Pig, George Pig, and Danny Dog to visit and learn more about Grampy Rabbit's lighthouse.
Where does Grampy Rabbit live?
On a rock.
On a rock?
It's a nice little outing and everything seems normal at first. When they arrive at the lighthouse, we can notice that Grandad Dog has a clean vest. He has nothing on it, right? His vest is perfectly clean and his face is spotless too. But then something strange happens. In the next scene, when Grandad Dog is giving Grampy Rabbit some items, we can notice that he suddenly has a mud stain on his shirt and on his face. Just like that. One moment he's completely clean, and the next, he looks like he's been rolling in the mud. It's a pretty big stain too, not something you'd miss. Like, how is this even possible? The mud stain literally came out of nowhere. There was no scene showing him getting dirty, no splash of mud, no accident, nothing at all. 1 second he's neat and tidy, and the next he's covered in dirt. It's one of those blink and you'll miss it kind of mistakes, but once you notice it, it really stands out. The stain just appears as if by magic. There's no explanation for it, and none of the other characters react to it either. They just carry on like nothing happened. This is yet another strange moment that seems to happen in the Peppa Pig universe. One moment Grandad Dog is clean, the next he's not, and nobody says a word. It's just another funny little animation error that sneaks into the episode. The mud stain just pops into existence, completely unexplained. In the episode, Princess Peppa, Granny, and Grandpa Pig come for a dinner party with Mummy and Daddy Pig. It's a nice family gathering, and everyone is having a good time. Later on, Granny Pig decides to surprise Peppa and George by sneaking into their room while they are asleep. When Granny Pig enters Peppa and George's room, we can notice something interesting about the window. The moon can be seen clearly through the left panel of the window. It's a nice detail that sets the scene as nighttime. The moon is bright and shining, visible through the left side of the window. Moments later, Granny Pig accidentally steps onto a rubber duck. The noise wakes Peppa up and she opens her eyes to look around.
Granny Pig! Gangy Egg!
As Peppa wakes up, she notices the moon again through the window. But here's the odd part. The moon is now on the right panel of the window, not the left one like before. This is a small but noticeable mistake. In the first shot, the moon is on the left side of the window, and then suddenly, without any change in perspective or movement of the characters, the moon switches to the right panel of the window. It's a little inconsistency in the animation that catches the eye. These kinds of little details might seem small, but they're interesting to spot. The moon should stay in the same place unless the viewpoint changes, but here it just magically moves from one side of the window to the other. It's a fun animation error that sharp viewers can notice. So, in Princess Peppa, the moon shifts from the left window panel to the right window panel between scenes without explanation. Now this next mistake is absolutely hilarious. In the episode The Train Ride, Madame Gazelle takes Peppa and her friends on a train ride where they must check off what they see on their activity sheets. It's a fun outing for the kids, and everyone is excited to spot things from the train window. But at the train station, Pedro loses his ticket. It's a small but important detail because you need the ticket to get on the train. Pedro looks around the platform trying to find it, but it seems to have disappeared. Now look carefully at the ground. We can clearly see there's nothing there. The ground is completely clear, no tickets, no paper, nothing at all. But moments later, when Madame Gazelle arrives, Zoe Zebra points towards the ground, and suddenly there appears Pedro's train ticket. It's right there on the ground, perfectly visible. There's no way that ticket was originally there in the earlier shot when Pedro was looking for it.
I've lost my ticket.
This is quite funny because the ticket seems to magically appear out of nowhere. It wasn't on the ground before, but now it's just there, like it was waiting to be found. Maybe Zoe Zebra had probably hidden the ticket all along, and when Pedro was distracted looking at Madame Gazelle, she threw his ticket on the ground. It's a sneaky little moment that adds a bit of mystery to the episode. No one mentions it, and it's not explained, but viewers who pay close attention can spot this funny error. Pedro's lost ticket wasn't really lost. It was hidden and then revealed at just the right moment. So, in the train ride, the ticket's sudden appearance on the ground is one of those small animation or continuity errors that makes watching the show even more entertaining. In the episode The Baby Piggy, Peppa and George are visiting their big cousin Chloe, and we get to meet Chloe's new baby brother Alexander for the first time.
But where's our new cousin?
Here's your new baby cousin.
It's an exciting moment for everyone as they see the newest addition to the family. Later in the episode, Peppa's friends also come to see baby Alexander, making the scene full of familiar faces. Right here we can see that Suzie Sheep is standing behind Zoe Zebra. She's clearly in the background, standing quietly behind Zoe. It looks natural at first, and everyone seems to be where they should be. The characters are arranged nicely and the scene feels calm and orderly. But then, when the scene zooms out, something funny happens. Suzie Sheep magically appears in front of Zoe Zebra. Instead of being behind her as before, Suzie is suddenly standing right in front. It's like she switched places without anyone noticing. This change is quite surprising because there's no clear reason for it. This little mistake is a good example of a continuity error in the animation. The position of Suzie Sheep changes from behind Zoe Zebra to in front of her between shots. It's a subtle detail that viewers might not catch right away, but once noticed, it's hard to ignore. Such errors happen sometimes in animated shows, especially in busy scenes with multiple characters. But this one is particularly amusing because Suzie Sheep seems to move in a way that doesn't quite make sense. So in The Baby Piggy, Suzie Sheep's sudden change in position from behind to in front of Zoe Zebra is a small but noticeable animation slip that adds a little extra fun to the episode. In the episode Best Friend, Peppa Pig invites her best friend Suzie Sheep over to play.
Hello, Susie. Hello, Peppa.
It's a fun time as they take various toys out of a basket and scatter them all over the floor. The room quickly fills with colorful toys, making it look like a real playroom. But when George wants to join the fun, Peppa doesn't allow him. Poor Georgie. He's left out while Peppa and Suzie enjoy their playtime. Anyway, after the scene with the girls playing, we return to the same spot and notice something strange. The little horn that was next to the green notebook on the floor has disappeared. It's just gone. Then, out of nowhere, we see it magically appear on the other side of the room. The horn has moved all by itself, without anyone picking it up or carrying it. That's pretty funny and a little confusing, and that's not all. When the girls take the toys out of the basket, one of the first toys is a Jack-in-the-Box. It even opens up when they take it out, which is a cute little detail. The Jack-in-the-Box pops up and adds to the fun. However, after talking to George shortly after, we can see that the toy is no longer on the floor of the room. It just disappears. Unlike the horn, though, we don't see the Jack-in-the-Box again anywhere in the room. Maybe the animators were a little lazy to clean up all that mess. The toys move around without explanation, some vanish completely, and others magically appear in new places. It's a funny little animation error that shows up in Best Friend, and it makes the episode even more entertaining to watch. In the episode The Fish Pond, Daddy Pig is looking forward to taking Peppa and George to visit a fish pond that he used to visit when he was a piglet.
We're going to see a pond that has little fish swimming in it.
It's a special trip down memory lane for Daddy Pig, and Peppa and George are excited to go along with him. At the start, notice that both Peppa and George have an ice cream cone in their hand. They are happily holding their ice creams as they walk towards the pond. While they are walking, the ice cream cones remain firmly in their hands. It looks like they are enjoying their treats as they go. The ice creams don't disappear or change during this part. They're clearly visible and being held carefully by Peppa and George. But then, when Daddy Pig is talking with Miss Rabbit, the scene zooms out. At this point, something strange happens. If you look closely at Peppa and George's hands, you'll notice that the ice cream cones have disappeared. Suddenly, neither of them is holding an ice cream cone anymore. This is quite an obvious mistake because it's hard to believe they were able to finish their ice cream in just one bite, especially without showing any sign of it. The ice cream cones are just gone. There's no explanation given for why the ice cream disappeared, and the characters don't mention it either. This is definitely a mistake in the animation or continuity of the episode. The ice cream cones should have stayed in their hands or at least shown them finishing it properly. Instead, the ice creams vanish between scenes, making it a funny little animation error that attentive viewers can spot.
Delicious.
So, in The Fish Pond, the sudden disappearance of Peppa and George's ice cream cones is a small but noticeable mistake that adds some unintentional humor to the episode. Moving on. In the episode Kylie Kangaroo and her family go to Peppa's house for a visit.
We met at the airport, remember? It was a while back.
When they are at the house, the entire pig family comes outside to greet them. It's a warm and friendly scene with everyone happy to see each other. Now look carefully at the pig family. We can notice that Peppa and George are standing right in front of Daddy and Mummy Pig. They're clearly positioned with Peppa and George in the front and Daddy and Mummy Pig standing just behind them. It makes sense, and the family looks nicely arranged in the shot. But here's the issue. When the scene zooms into Peppa, Mummy and Daddy Pig disappear from the frame. One moment, they are standing right behind Peppa and George, and the next, when we focus on Peppa, Mummy and Daddy Pig are nowhere to be seen. They just vanish without any explanation. This sudden disappearance is a noticeable mistake as it breaks the continuity of the scene. There's one more mistake in this episode, and it is even funnier. After Peppa and George meet Kylie Kangaroo and her brother Joey, Peppa shows Kylie how to jump up and down in muddy puddles. Jumping in muddy puddles is one of Peppa's favorite activities, and it's great to see her sharing that fun with her new friends. The size of the muddy puddle is quite small. It fits just right for the characters to jump in, and it looks consistent at first. But when other characters start to jump in the puddle, the size of it magically changes. The puddle grows or shifts size out of nowhere. It's clearly visible that the puddle is not the same size as before. It's a funny little animation error that adds some unexpected magic to the puddle jumping fun. In the episode Sleepover, Peppa goes to Zoe Zebra's house for a sleepover, and as always, they're having a lot of fun together.
Hello, Zoe. Hi, Peppa. Welcome to my sleepover.
It's a cozy and exciting night full of games and laughter. When Mummy and Daddy Zebra wave them goodnight and turn off the lights, we can notice something on the wall. There are 2 paintings hanging there, adding a nice touch to the room's decoration. But in the next scene, when Peppa and her friends get ready to sleep, something strange happens. We can't see the paintings on the wall anymore. The wall looks bare, with no paintings hanging like before. It's a small but noticeable change in the background. Then, in the next scene, when Zoe Zebra's twin sisters start crying, the paintings magically reappear on the wall. Suddenly the 2 paintings are back where they were earlier. It's almost like the paintings come and go depending on the scene, which is a bit confusing. And that's not all. Later in the episode, Peppa and her friends decide to sneakily go to the kitchen to get some food, and they successfully do so. But Mummy Zebra finds out what they are doing and tells them to go back to sleep. When all the kids go to bed, we can see a painting behind them once again. However, here's the issue. That painting is different from the ones we saw earlier. If we compare these paintings, we can see that they are completely different. The first paintings and this last one don't match at all. So, did someone magically change the painting, or is there some kind of ghost living in Zoe Zebra's house? Whatever might be the reason, this is indeed a strange mistake. The paintings keep appearing, disappearing, and changing, making it a funny little continuity error in the episode Sleepover. In the episode Bedtime, during the intro, as always, we can notice Peppa's house. It's a familiar and comforting sight. On the right side of her house, we can also see the sun that is about to set. The sun's position clearly shows it's evening time, adding to the cozy atmosphere of the scene. But here's the issue. When the scene zooms in towards Peppa's kitchen, we can still notice that the sun is on the right side of their house. So far, so good. It seems consistent. However, when we enter the kitchen and look through the window, the sun can be seen again. This doesn't make sense because if the sun is on the right side of the house, it shouldn't be visible through the kitchen window based on its placement. This is a logical error in the animation. The sun's position contradicts itself depending on the scene. It's a small but noticeable mistake that breaks the continuity and realism of the setting. Viewers paying close attention can easily spot this inconsistency. In the same episode, when the pig family is having dinner together, there's another funny error. If we look closely at the dinner plates, we can notice that only George has finished his food. Daddy Pig, Mummy Pig, and Peppa have yet to finish theirs. It looks like they're still enjoying their meal. But moments later, when Daddy Pig says he's tired, we get another shot of the dinner table. If we look at Peppa's plate this time, it's completely empty. That's odd because Peppa didn't seem to have finished eating just moments before. Thanks for watching! Did you catch all these funny mistakes? Let us know which one surprised you the most in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more fun videos like this. See you next time.